Hello, wonderful ladies and gentlemen. Andy here. I coach men and women on living lives of abundance and joy. If they can all do it, you sure as hell can too. Let's talk about something that might seem a little bit counterintuitive when you first hear it, and that is letting go, as in letting go of control, letting go of needing to control the outcome all the time, and just trusting a little bit more in the process. We often stress ourselves out by trying to control everything. We try and control what people say to us when we hit on them or when we ask them for money if we're building a business. We think that we can control everything, and we think if we just have the perfect pickup line and we can say it in the perfect way, then no one will ever reject us and everyone will say yes, or most people will say yes. Or we believe in business that if we just have the perfect product and the perfect marketing, and if we can practice all these sales techniques and learn objection handling and all of that, that no one will ever say no to us and we'll be rich billionaires and we'll be super happy. But control really is just an illusion. You can't make everybody say yes to you. Not everybody on the planet wants to fuck you. Not everybody in the world wants to give you money. That seems like such an obvious, almost common sense thing to say, but we forget it in the moment, don't we? We beat ourselves up and say, I should have done better. Why didn't I be more confident or courageous? Man, it's because I didn't say the right thing, or I should have done this instead. We think that we can just somehow control ourselves and be perfect in every moment. You can't. Guys, I say it all the time. You can't be perfect. You're not going to have the perfect pickup lines all the time. You're not going to be in the perfect mood all the time. You're not going to have the perfect business fucking sales techniques all the time. You're going to have days where you're feeling a bit sad or drained or low energy. You're just not feeling like you're on. And on those days, your mission is not to do a perfect job. It's not to control the outcome. It's not to control yourself. It's not to make yourself be perfect. It's to let go a little bit. This is what I'm talking about when I say give yourself permission to suck. That is letting go of the expectation that you're going to be perfect, letting go of the expectation that you need to be perfect, letting go of this idea that perfection will somehow, first of all, that it's even attainable, but letting go of the idea that perfection will somehow take away all rejection. It won't. Some people just don't want what you're offering. They don't want to give you the thing that you're asking for. Sometimes you might need to go out there and play the numbers game. Let's just say all the time you're going to need to go out there and play the numbers game. And if we focus too much on the outcome with each individual person, whether it's approaching them to ask for a date, or whether it's offering a business thing or asking them to be your friend, whatever it is, when we focus on the outcome only and we think that we have to control that, that just brings up anxiety. Peace and, ironically, taking more action comes from accepting the uncertainty. You don't know what's going to happen when you walk up to a woman and hit on her. And I think for a lot of you, that terrifies you. I think you're sitting there thinking, if I could just research enough or watch enough videos or learn enough pickup lines or hesitate enough and procrastinate, I would be able to learn enough that I can stop a no from happening, or I can at least minimize it. No. If you want to never be told no, then don't go outside and try. Like literally, if you want to completely eliminate rejection, just don't go and hit on anybody, and then no one can reject you. Don't go and make friends. Don't put yourself out in public. Literally, don't leave the house, and then no one will reject you because they won't know you exist, but at least they won't reject you, right? And so if you're obsessed with reducing rejection, or if you're obsessed with never making mistakes, or I got to make sure I don't fail, a lot of you are so terrified of failing, so terrified of making a supposed mistake that you don't try. You're like crippled by everything that could go wrong, everything that might go astray. You're so worried about what other people might think of you, or what they might say to you, or what they might say behind your back. You don't take any action. But success comes from accepting the fact that this is an uncertain game, or it's a game of uncertainty. You do not know what is going to happen when you walk up to someone and hit on them. You do not know what is going to happen when you offer your product or your service, your business, to someone. You do not know what is going to happen when you say to someone, would you like to be my friend? Can I add you on Instagram? Can I add you on Facebook? You don't know what they're going to say. You don't know what a woman's going to say when you say, would you like to come back to my house and make out and maybe have sex? You don't know. I don't know. And I've been doing this for far longer than most of you. I've been working on, or I guess enjoying my sex life for the last, like 9 years at this point? No, 10 years. 10 years. I started when I was 28. So 10 years I've been doing this. I can't predict what a woman will say when I ask her if she wants to make out with me or come back to my place or go on a date with me or give me her phone number. I don't know. How could I fucking know? The same as when I offer my coaching. When I sit down on a free call with someone and I say to them, so do you want the coaching program? I don't know if they're going to say yes or no. I've had so many people where I was so utterly convinced that they were going to say yes and they don't. I've had so many people. I mean, there was one a month ago who signed up. I'm so convinced that they're not going to say yes. You know, they seem so hesitant. They seem to almost be talking themselves out of coaching. They just don't seem to really be listening or connecting with what I'm saying. And I'm so convinced they're going to say no. But I throw it out there and I say, so do you want the coaching? And they go, oh, yeah, I definitely want the coaching. Yeah, 100%. Just send me the first invoice and I'll pay it. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, again, the guy that I had recently sign up a month or so ago, I was pretty convinced he wasn't going to say yes. And he did without hesitation. He was like, no. I've known that I was going to sign up this whole call. Like the whole time I've known I was going to sign up. And so I can't predict who's going to sign up or who's going to give me money or who's going to have sex with me or go on a date with me. I can't predict who wants to be my friend. I can't predict which of you will change your life. I can't predict anything. How could I predict that? I'm not God. And a lot of you think that you can somehow become some guru or some god or some predictor of the future. You can't. This is a game of uncertainty. And so embrace that. Embrace that whatever comes, you will be able to handle it. And if you feel like you can't handle it, that's okay. You work on your stoicism. You work on your ability to handle things like rejection. You know, there is no rejection. They just don't want what you're offering. It's not a personal rejection. All of these mindsets that really help. And you build yourself up into a stoic, badass warrior. And you build that ability to be able to handle whatever comes. And then you can start to look at these challenges that you might go through or these emotions that you might feel or the struggles that you might have. You can look at them with gratitude and feel like, you know what? Each one of these has shaped me. They're building me. They're building my ability to trust myself, to be able to handle shit. Like, I am literally a stronger, more capable person because of the stuff that I'm going through. And so rather than saying I need to control every outcome, I need to stop rejection, I need to make everyone say yes to me, let go of that a little bit and work on your ability to handle the word no. Work on your ability to not need everyone to say yes. Who would you be if you didn't need to control the outcome all the time? What if you could just be happy with whatever happens? Then you wouldn't be so desperate for people to say yes. You'd still try just as hard. In fact, guess what? You would try much, much harder because it wouldn't be coming from this place of fear and anxiety that cripples you. I think all of you know deep down that when you're feeling this terrifying fear of rejection or of someone saying no, you don't go and take as much action. It's really hard to walk outside the house and hit on people or offer your product or your service when you're so terrified that they're going to say no. You self-sabotage, or you might call it self-protection. Like you don't offer the thing to people because you're like, they're just going to say no anyway. What's the point? So you literally take less action when you're obsessed with controlling the outcome. And an interesting, almost ironic bit, it makes sense when you understand it, almost ironic thing happens when you practice this letting go of controlling the outcome. You actually take way more action and you actually get the outcome a whole lot easier. People want to have sex with a person who's not desperate and fucking needy. People want to have sex with someone who's not controlling. People want to have sex with someone who's not going to have a fucking breakdown and be butthurt just because someone said no thank you. The same as business. People want to give their money to the person who's relatively secure, who's not needy and desperate, and using all these sales tactics almost as a form of desperation. Like, I need to manipulate you or beg you to be here because else I can't be okay. People get a sense of that and they don't want to hand over their money or hand over their pussy or hand over their cock, you know what I mean? And so rather than obsessing with, I need to control everything, I need to be so fucking desperate that I can't let go, you practice some deep breathing, you practice letting go. You say things like, I will be equally happy if this woman says no to me as if she says yes to me. Because if she says yes to me, that'll be beautiful. We'll go on a date. We'll have a great time. You know, we'll build something beautiful together, or we'll have some wonderful sex. And if she says no to me, then she is teaching me stoicism. She is increasing my ability to hear the word no. She's getting me one step closer to the next yes, because every no is just one step closer to the next yes. She might even give me some useful feedback and tell me what I could improve. She might even be motivation for me to go and improve more so that I do get a little bit more yeses. What can I improve in myself rather than needing this particular woman to say yes to me? The same as business. Every person that says no to you is a chance to work harder for the next yes. Every person that says no is a chance to let go. And we often think that letting go means we're losing something. No, you're gaining stoicism. You're gaining humility. You're gaining the ability to hear the word no and not have a fucking breakdown. You literally benefit when people say no to you or when you don't get what you want. But our beautiful, big, juicy egos are so used to just demanding everything and getting butthurt when we don't get what we want that we struggle at first to see not getting what we want as a good thing. Maybe you need to not get what you want so you can learn some stoicism. I said that to a coaching client of mine recently. I was like, maybe you haven't heard the word no enough because you get very butthurt when you hear it, and that's okay. You're doing your best and you're actually doing a pretty good job, but maybe you need to hear the word no. Maybe these women are doing you a fucking favor every time they say no to you so you can toughen the fuck up. Maybe they are literally making you a stronger, more well-rounded, better person because they're saying no to you. And if you can really understand that and really get that and really feel that, man, you don't go outside with this fear, this terror of like, what if someone says no? No, you walk outside with this big smile on your face going, I wonder how many no's I'm going to get today. And I wonder how many yeses I'm going to get today. And you show up with this mindset of curiosity. I have no expectations, only curiosity. Instead of expecting everyone to say yes to you, instead of expecting everyone to give you what you want, what if you just expected whatever happens? What if you expected the unexpected? What if you expected a bunch of no's, a bunch of yeses, we'll see what happens? You would take way more action because you wouldn't be tiptoeing around petrified and terrified of the next no. You would go out there and get just as many no's as yeses, and you wouldn't care. You wouldn't care if it took you 100 approaches before a woman sleeps with you, or 200, or 300, or 500. But so many of you have these fucking expectations which are driving you into the ground. I should only have to do this many approaches and then I'll get laid. No, fuck you. Go and do more approaches. I should only have to offer my product or my service to this many people and then I deserve money. No, fuck you. The world doesn't owe you shit. I say that with love, maybe a little bit of harshness in there too, but the world owes you exactly what it's going to give you. So take what you are given, be grateful for it, and then go ask for more. That might mean you need to hear the word no more until you are able to handle it. You might eventually hear some yeses and love those just as much. But if you're tiptoeing around out there because you're so terrified of the word no, you're just not taking as much action as you could be. And so today, practice letting go of control a little bit. If you're going outside to hit on women, literally before you leave, say, I have no expectations, only curiosity. I am genuinely curious to see what happens. Let's see how many no's I get. Let's see if I get any weird reactions. Let's see if anyone ignores me. Let's see if I get some yeses. Whatever I get, it's all going to benefit me. It is all going to make me stronger, more stoic, and maybe I even get some sex along the way. Wouldn't that be fucking wonderful? If it's your product or your service, in a business sense, what if you go out there and say, I'm going to just try and genuinely fucking help people instead of just demanding what I want? Why don't I try and give and see who wants to give back to me? And maybe no one will give to me. Maybe someone will, but why don't I have this curious mindset? I have no expectations, only curiosity. And you'll find with that mindset, you take 100 times as much action, and the action is way more fun because you're not butthurt by every supposed rejection or everyone who says no to you or no thank you to you. And you'll take 100 times more action, and guess what? You'll get more results, and you'll go, holy shit, I can't believe this idea of letting go of control actually made me take more action. I can't believe I got more of what I want when I was less controlling and obsessed with controlling the outcome with every individual person. I can't believe that I'm more able to handle the word no. Yeah, because you built your stoicism. And so trust that you will be able to handle whatever life brings. Like, you don't fall apart and fucking die because someone says, no, thank you, I don't want to give you my phone number. Or no, thank you, I have a boyfriend. Or no, thank you, I would like to keep my money and not hand it over to you. Nothing bad happens. But a lot of you think the whole freaking world will fall apart and you'll die or something if someone says no to you. Go out there, get some no's, and you're going to see that you're actually able to handle them. You always were able to handle them. You were just believing your silly fears. And fears are nothing but false evidence appearing real. That's what the word fear stands for. False evidence appearing real. It's false. It's bullshit. It's just a bunch of illusions that break down when you go out there and actually get the evidence that most people are pretty nice. They're not going to reject you brutally like your biggest fears tell you that they will. They're not going to break your heart. And if they do break your heart, oh my goodness, wouldn't that be a beautiful opportunity to practice some stoicism? Wouldn't that be a great way to learn how to not have your heart broken just because someone said no thank you? And so trust that you'll be able to handle whatever life brings because you can. You just haven't really tested that yet. And go out there and practice just letting go a little bit. Practice taking that action. Practice not needing to control each individual person. Like, who would you be if you didn't have to control other people? You could just let them choose whatever the fuck they want to do without resenting them for it. And if someone wants to say no to you, what if you said, hey, that's beautiful. I love that you know what you want and what you don't want. I hope you have a nice day. You might find that you brighten their day and they might say something nice back to you. In fact, they will. I'm telling you that because that's what I do. I'm nice to the people that say no to me for coaching. I'm nice to the women that don't want to sleep with me or don't want to give me a phone number. I'm nice to the people that don't want to be my friend. And when I'm nice to them, 95% of them are really nice back to me. And then I get to feel good and they get to feel good. And so without that neediness, without that controlling nature that we all sort of have, it's just our ego. It's, part of the ego. But letting go of that a little bit, you find that the world is a much kinder, brighter place. People like nice people, and we're sometimes not particularly nice when we're very controlling or when we're very desperate for the outcome or when we resent other people just because they didn't give us what they want or what we want. So go out there and practice letting go a little bit. If you want more help with this, you know where to find me. I have coaching and all of that beautiful stuff. I actually right now for the next roughly 30 days am offering a big coaching deal. So you get $2,000 off the price of the coaching. Big sale on right now. And you get an extra 4 weeks of coaching as well. So it'll be 16 weeks instead of the usual 12 and $9,000 instead of the usual 11,000. And we have payment plans and all of that. Again, that's just for about the next 30 days. I'll leave a link in the description below to that. But all of you are capable of going out there and letting go a little bit. And you'll find that you take 10 times as much action. So go out there, be brave, be fearless, have the courage to hear the word no, have the courage to have no expectations.